Hello and good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey folks, welcome to the Animation Breakfast Club with Doig and Swift. That bird and that burb
Yeah,
coming at you.
yeah, like
Hello.
Cleopatra.
Who we got in the chat today? Say hello.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hey Cheshire. Look, Cheshire, your
Hello.
art is at the beginning. Thank you so much for letting us use it.
Today is the unveiling, the premiere,
Oh,
the showcase, the
it's beautiful.
the red carpet event
I love it.
of our hashtag Doig Swift
Sweet
fanfare,
fanfare.
where we've collected together fan arts that we received in the near future past.
Cheshire says, in the good. I saw. It's very cool. I love it.
Yeah.
It warms the cockles of my heart.
I spent the valuable time yesterday crediting everyone. Cheshire, if you have a Twitter,
Yeah.
let
Cheshire.
us know, because I tried to find yours and I wasn't sure if you had Twitter. But
Cheshire does. Cheshire gave their Twitter to me. I asked him for it recently.
oh, is it
Because
the
for
underscore
this-
Cheshire 88?
Yeah, for this very purpose.
Oh,
So I can
looked-
give that to you.
I looked at the underscore Cheshire 88, but maybe I'd see. I knew that was the name of the file name. I remember.
And yet you didn't credit.
No,
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry.
They are wonderful though. We will do that for next time. Sorry about that. I didn't realise that you were looking for it, Mike, or I would have just told you.
Alrighty.
Alrighty then.
If you would like to submit or do any fan art and have it showcased in the morning before we start the stream, the hashtag is DoigSwiftFanfare. You don't have to, but there's the option there.
Yeah.
And
The hashtag's explicitly for that. So it's a way of making sure that we've got people's permission to use it. So if you don't want us to use it on the beginning stream, just don't tag it that.
just don't show us it.
Show it to us anyway.
Just
Show it to us anyway.
Just keep it to yourself if you don't want it.
No.
Don't want it lovingly displayed to
That's
the world.
no, that's not something I want. I want to see all the fan art. Just
Yeah.
I understand if you don't want it to be on the stream, that's okay. But if you do want it to be on the stream, use the hashtag. And then it will be. Because we'll do it. Anyway, we should do the thing.
Do the
Know,
thing.
the morning thing where we do work. What was that
I
noise?
don't know what that means.
We should probably find out what that means. Wait, there's a thing. Hosting. Enigmatic Amelia is now hosting.
Oh,
Enigmatic and Amelia, thank you so much.
thank you.
I never thought I'd be hosted by someone so enigmatic before. Oh my gosh, this song.
Yeah, it's good. All right, let's hit up this screen now.
Oh yeah, did you put up Jordan's of the 3D models?
I've not yet. No,
Oh, okay.
I will
okay.
though.
Yeah. Oh, look at that cool transition. Mike made that happen.
I made that happen.
We could even put our bobbing heads on the beginning waiting slate if you want, with us bobbing to the music.
Yeah,
If you want.
yeah, we could.
Okay, I have switched over to doing scene 2 because scene 1 is kicking my butt a little bit and I'm not feeling great today, so I kind of needed an easy win, you know? So I've skipped on to scene 2. Scene 1 is half inked still, but this scene should be a little bit easier to do because it's just a hold with some blinks and it's much smaller than the other one.
If you don't have Twitter, we won't force you to get Twitter. You
Yes.
can email them to us as well.
Yeah,
it's just,
that's fine.
Tweeting them is a nice way to.
Most people we know have Twitter, so it was kind of the easiest way. But
Yeah.
we would like no pressure to get Twitter. If you want to send them to us, feel free to. At doigswift@gmail.com. So long as we have your permission, we're super happy to use any artwork. Unless it's like, you know, you guys should go and die in a fire and also here's some unforgivable porn. Then we probably won't use it.
We'll admire it though. Speaking of fan art, it was recently brought to my attention that... Oh, hello, Emlet.
Emlet says, good morning. Look at this fancy highlighter message.
Hello.
Consider it done, Emlet.
We looked at it. It caught my attention.
Don't worry, we got your back.
There was a fan art done for Magnum Bullets, which I'm going to share with you all.
Oh my gosh, we just saw it this morning. Patrick posted it in the Knights chat. It's amazing. I think Patrick also posted it in the Peg Bar, but...
He did also post it in the Peg Bar. He did.
For anyone who hasn't seen it...
Look at this. Look
You
at...
can full screen it if you want to show yourself. Show yourself, Michael. Reveal yourself unto the world.
Yeah, there we go. Look how beautiful this is.
It's incredible.
Look at this majesty.
Can you zoom in on it? Well. They zoomed in on it for you.
Yeah, there's a secondary image, but the composition is so cool.
Those values are so masterful. It's like the movie poster that we would want for it.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. But yeah, this is
fantastic.
This is by Jerome Jacinto.
Jerome,
we salute you.
We bow to your skills.
Fabulous.
It's amazing. I still think a Doig Swift fan art's pretty cool though.
It is.
Hell yeah.
It is.
Hell yeah.
Why am I peeking off the side of the screen there?
What do you mean? Are you not meant to be?
No, I nudged myself over. You get over. You get. Oh, it's because I'm on that version of me. Okay. Back to dual screening with you.
Biggity 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 back to basics. Biggity back to basics.
Previously on Animation Breakfast Club, Michael modeled a ship. Then it crashed, and Michael modeled a ship again. And this is where we are at with it. We have a little ship. We have to add maps again, and maybe some tattered sails. We'll see. I'm gonna bring your chat up again so I can appreciate it.
That sounds like a good idea.
If I appreciate it, I mean read it.
I appreciate it.
Oh, I would if Chrome wasn't being a bitch.
Chrome, why'd you being such a bitch?
Wait, is everything being a bitch?
You sent us some in Discord. What's this? What is this? You want a print, Patrick? Yeah, heck yeah. Me too. Oh! These are so cute. I like my size. Now who's the tallest dude? It's me. Observe.
What?
Behold.
What?
My power. Patrick just sent this over to us. Tweet.
Am I also a bird?
No, you're a bird.
Oh, what's going on? You're a muscle bird.
Got little claws. All the better for slashing. Are you giving us permission to put this in a fan art showcase, Patrick? Because we will.
Open this up.
A bird and a birdie. And a beard. A birdie. A bird. Yeah.
Wow, Chrome is just like not responding. Is my mouse just dead?
Beard. Ferdy is shielding herself from the burb tweet attacks.
There we go.
Do what you will with our sketches, so long as we have your permission. So long as we have your permission, Patrick.
There we go. There we go.
I just want to make sure we've got the go-ahead from anyone who shows us any kind of fan art to be able to use it and post it. So how is everyone this morning? I guess it must be the evening for a lot of you guys. How are you doing? Let me know how everyone is faring. I'm not going to read that, Patrick. You can't make me read that. I know your game. You and David, both of you. Always trying to get me to say things humiliating. So I can't pronounce certain things. Show you all. You're going to be responsible for my villain arc.
I thought we were already on your villain arc.
Aww.
When did that stop?
It's been going on this whole time, you're right. The eye looks weird. I don't know if I like the way I drew it.
You don't like me, you don't know if you like
I don't know if I like the way I drew that. I should redraw it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Turnip.
Parsnip.
Cracker.
Chips.
Chip.
Chips.
Winhomer says, "This is the first time I've watched live. Usually I catch it in the morning on YouTube." Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Welcome to the live experience where interaction is paramount. And
something you can't avoid.
Michael tries to extend his vocabulary with words to say.
Good. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. You are very, very welcome.
You are. It's good to have you here. Thanks for coming and hanging out live. Oh, we are at an inconvenient time for you. We probably are. We're at an inconvenient time for a lot of people, so we understand.
Tib says, I expanded my minimalist streaming idea a bit, and I can now access Twitch chat through the command line too, so I won't need a web browser open. Hopefully I'll be able to do a test stream today.
That's what I was just looking at. I was like, wait a second. Tib, you gonna stream? Tib gonna stream? Tibbs is an awesome animator for anyone in chat who's not already aware. So if she's streaming, then
you know what to do.
Yeah, you should all go watch Tib's stream. And that says, wow, Tib is such a nerd. Thanks,
it's okay.
I'm sure Tib appreciates that.
It's okay for Emlet to say that because Emlet is a friend and they're on a familiar terms. So it's an endearing comment. Context is everything.
Are you thinking about things deeply?
No.
Sounds like that came from a place of deep thought.
No.
Alright.
I never think deeply, India.
Never think deeply on anything.
You can't.
Thinking deeply is the greatest weakness you can have.
You can't make me think about anything more than I already have.
Why? Because you already thought about it so deeply.
Yeah. No.
You admit it.
Don't twist my words. You all want an audio partner for an hour or so. You offering to chat, Patrick?
Oh yeah, cool. That would be cool.
I should be able to set that up so that like I can keep the music low and on but still have more voices, because I got potato. Look,
you got potato.
I got potato. Voice meter potato.
Oh.
Patrick will come in on the Discord and then I'll send it to B2, which is where everybody's listening, and then this is reduced at minus 25 decibel or whatever this is. And that goes to B2 as well, and then it all goes out to the stream. I listen on this one. Personally, I'm listening on this one. Big potato, yeah. I'll probably have the headphone up so you don't hear yourself.
It's potato.
At least it's not a bunch of candies like Phobos's stream. Candles.
I missed it. I missed it because I was not feeling great yesterday. What? How was the stream for Phobos? Because he was streaming yesterday, right?
Yeah. I think he started at like midnight.
I guess I wouldn't have been able to catch it really anyway then.
So
I have to watch the VOD.
But I didn't watch it.
I was really looking forward to it too.
We've had a couple of questions about our Discord. One person above asked what they had, what demon they had to summon to achieve the privilege of being in our Discord.
Aww.
And Enigmatic Amelia is also asking, where can one find the Discord if it is a community Discord? Our Discord has been around for about 3 years now. It's
less of a community Discord and more of like an art focused animation improvement Discord.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a Doig Swift like fan Discord or anything. It's hey animators who want to like form an animation community and, you know, get better at stuff. Let's all do it together. So if you're still interested, then we did used to have it open, but we got a few dodgy people coming in. So ever since then, we have been asking people to send us work over, just so we can like get a beat on who everyone is.
Habbo says it's not a fan Discord. What the hell am I doing in there then?
Aww.
Everything is
Hello.
Nand. I don't think you failed. I think I failed you. I'm sometimes I fail to pick up on where people correspond to us at.
Yes. So did you send it to us via the email address? And we'll go and make sure that we haven't missed it, because we are known to miss things.
Oh, Enigmatic Amelia says, then I would not fit in. I cannot draw.
Aww.
I mean, oh, Patrick's ready for a call. You added Doig Swift on Twitter. Okay. I will check that and get back to you.
It's not just for people who draw. Like, it is open to other people who do creative stuff as well. I guess the main thing is just like it's like an improvement Discord.
Yeah.
For doing work and supporting one another.
Yeah, okay. You ready? You got headphones and stuff for calling Patrick?
Oh, do I need... Yes, I will need headphones. That's correct.
You will need headphones.
Because he's not in the room with me. I see. This internet thing is fascinating stuff. Okay. I drew a shoe, and now I'm ready. Let me get my headphones on. That's a capacitator. I love that. Tiny bird in a basket.
So who we're about to bring onto the stream is Patrick Stannard. He's the CEO and king of Knights of the Light Table.
Yeah, we should give you a little bit of rundown on who Pat is.
He's a fantastic animator / director
/ friend.
/ friend. He's full of slashes. Oh my god, that always scares me.
Is that quieter than the other day now, Steven? Animator, thank you for the raid.
I think it was quieter because it was only once.
We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, guys. We hope you had a good stream.
But also, I think that's too. Okay, guys.
We should turn that down.
I'm going to turn that down right now.
Thank you. So, just to continue the introduction of Pat a little bit. So, Pat is the director of Knights of the Light Table, and he directed Magnum Bullet's music video. So, that was him. He also directed Heartboner. He directed Blowing the Payload for Starbomb. So, yeah, he's amazing. And he's currently working with Powerhouse on the new series of He-Man, which he's co-directing. So, exciting stuff.
It simulates the fear caused by a real-life Viking raid.
That's true. Alright, I'm ready when you are, Mike.
Yep, just give me a second.
Also, everyone in chat, when the call starts up and you hear Pat, let us know what the audio levels are like for everyone.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do the raid thing after I've got Pat in.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Let me just check my settings. Okay. We should be going through that. That should be coming through this. That should all work. Alright. Start a voice call.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Alright, let's...
How are you fine folks doing?
We're okay,
We're
thanks.
okay. Let's get see if folks can hear you okay.
All right.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Hey, everybody in the chat, can you hear me?
Good volume. Audio good.
Yeah, we go.
That's awesome.
Can you hear both of us
Yeah.
okay, Patrick?
Yes, I can hear you just fine because we all got nice, expensive microphones.
Yes, we do. Thank goodness.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Yep. So let's see. If Patrick, if you talk, this little level here should go up.
All right, testing. 1, 2, 3.
There he is. You're in the green,
Hey,
Patrick.
it's me.
Hey, it's Patrick.
Green's my favorite color.
Is it really? Is
Well,
that because of
it's
spreadsheets?
It may or may not be because of spreadsheets.
I can understand
Listen, I have a sickness. I have a fever.
that. A fever for spreadsheets.
Yes. Shit is real.
Yeah, so, I mean, it must be quite late for you.
It is quite late, but I'm just finishing up a little bit of effects work here, and I thought I'd say hi to you guys while I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing a little bit of some sparkles. I'm doing some sparkles.
Sparkles.
It's actually it's a type of illustration known as an FX callout.
Oh?
It's fun. Yes, so this is a illustration you'll do maybe 1 to 3 drawings, and it'll represent kind of the keyframes of an effect, and you send this to an outsourcing studio in, Korea or Australia or where have you, and they'll take that and they will animate the effects in accordance with the effects callouts
Wow.
that you provide them. Yeah.
Cool, so they're just like essentially keyframes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, that's awesome.
Oh, I see you, David.
David's like, where is it? He said the audio is good. Tones are dulcet.
That's what we aim for here, dulcet tones.
David is now our stream moderator when he pops by, so he's got a big old green sword. Keep everyone in check.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a sword and permission to hit people with it. Yeah.
You guys have given him far too much power.
We trust him. We trust you, David.
I hope not.
I say this as the person who made him a director.
I think that's going to work out
this-
well.
Absolutely. I think
David's amazing.
if there's anyone who's responsible enough to handle it, it's David.
It's true.
You hear that, David? There's nothing an artist hates more than compliments.
Squirm, David!
He's yelling, "Don't fuck up, or I will hurt you with nice words."
You heard him, guys. Be afraid.
So, you folks got any questions you would want to ask Patrick if he happened to be on a call on a stream at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, this is your chance to catch him while his defenses are down.
Don't pitch me anything.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't dare, Patrick. I've learned.
I can't tell you how many times I've had that at like a convention or something.
What, someone pitching you something, or you just being like, you know what, I've got an
Yeah.
idea.
Just because like a lot of people don't fully understand the pitching process, and they think that you pitch to an animation studio and then they animate it. It's
Yes.
like, nah, man, you got to pitch to the people who got the money. Then they hire us, and then we animate it.
Yes. We are but their tools. We are the hammer. We are the forge.
We're the thing that does creep at night.
So we got a couple questions in here. Someone says, if planning to go to CTN, if it happens, I'll try to be there. It depends on if Powerhouse is going to have a presence and if I'm going to represent, which depends on workload and who we're looking to hire. So right now it's kind of up in the air. And I love Mexican food, and I love Tex-Mex too, which are slightly different, but equally enjoyable.
I like that any conversational topic is like 2 steps removed from you talking about Tex-Mex. Hey,
Yeah.
you going to CTN? Yeah, but Tex-Mex though.
Oh. All right, CTN is California. That is,
Yeah.
that's not Tex-Mex. Tex-Mex is in Texas
Yeah.
and Arizona and the surrounding states, not California.
Oh, okay.
I think Mike's saying though that you know how there's that thing where you're like meant to be 2 spaces removed from a celebrity, like
Oh.
it's like any conversation with you is like there's always a way to bring it round to like delicious food. Always.
I think that's been the saddest thing for me about well, not the saddest thing, but it's one of the things that I worry about is there's a lot of restaurants and service places here in Texas that are really suffering as a result of the quarantine.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like-
likewise.
I don't want to wake up the next day and see all these places out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking like it's pretty tough for businesses at the minute.
It is.
We have a very important question for you, Patrick. How are you?
No. I'm all right. I'm
That's
doing fine.
that's from Tibbs.
Ain't dead yet.
Oh, that's good.
Just working late doing some effects callouts, which are they're kind of mindless. I can do effects pretty much in my sleep at this point, which is a nice place to be.
Yeah. It's good because you are basically doing them in your sleep right now.
I've got some PTO coming up though that I'm excited about, so
PTO?
I'm fine working some long hours now if it means I get some time off later.
Ah, yes, you said this the other day. Paid time off.
Pay time off, yeah.
The old PTO.
So it's going to be so good. It's going to feel even better for all the work that you're putting in now.
BN Motive says that the difference flatters me. He says gracias de nada. It's I love me some Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex has queso, like real queso, not like, because queso and melted cheese are different things.
What is
Queso involves
queso?
melted cheese, but it also queso is a type of melted. It's like a melted cheese it'll have like peppers and it'll have a lot of spices in it. Sometimes it'll have like guacamole and like sweet onions and stuff like that. And yeah, if you get queso in Texas, it's probably going to have some sort of Velveeta in it for that extra meltiness. There's a place here called Torchy's Tacos that does particularly good queso that I'm a huge fan of.
Oh, that's the hot sauce you sent us, Torchies.
Diablo hot sauce.
Yes.
That's a habanero base, I believe.
Super good.
Boy. Oh, I don't want to skip this person entirely. It is a heavy question, asking about the general timelines look like for music videos. Long.
Yeah, longer than you'd probably think.
Yeah. Boy. I would say, a minute is probably about 3 months with a 9-person team if everybody's working pretty efficiently.
That's the thing is we tend to have quite small teams as well at nights.
Yeah, because you have your pre-production, so you're figuring out visual development. What do the characters look like? What do the environments look like? Making model sheets from that for your animators, optimizing things, and then doing color scripting. Then you've got storyboards, which is part of pre-production. You're figuring out the story, figuring out how all the shots are going to work. That has to go back and forth, and with small teams it's very much dependent on your workers. Thankfully at nights we have I'm biased, but I think we have some of the most talented people,
I agree,
and hardest workers I think in the industry,
which is good because a lot of the time something like a color script or animations can hang on the shoulders of just 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And then after that you go into animation, production, color cleanup, shading, and then after that you go into post-production, which is now you're taking all these assets that you've made, the backgrounds, the characters, and you're giving it to someone in After Effects, and they take all these elements and they layer them on top of each other and put them back on a timeline and do a whole bunch of magic to it, and
make
takes
it
a long
look
time.
amazing. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Oh, that's very lovely, Doig and Swift.
Oh, Habbo is so cute.
What is it?
I'll show you.
Oh, Habbo! That's fantastic. Do we have permission to put that in our little showcase at the beginning of the streams?
Speaking of people who are getting too powerful, Arctic Man.
Yeah. It's great. Habbo is one of
amazing animator.
Yeah, one of the best artists we have at nights.
So I'm gonna jump back a couple questions to see if we missed any. Hart Sinclair asks, was it a collective idea to use cyberpunk anthropomorphic animals for Magnum Bullet?
Magnum Bullets was actually one of our first videos that got put on the back burner when we picked up Star Bomb and Starlight Brigade, which is just for, we were kind of at capacity for workers. You all were doing so much that we just couldn't have a full team working on it. But in terms of design, because it was one of the early ones, I think I had already pitched Dan the idea for it by the time I brought you guys on. Is that correct?
It is, yeah.
It is,
so basically that entire world and the lore behind it and the main characters more or less were already all locked in by Pat.
I think one of the tweets you shared recently on the Knights of the Light Table Twitter was some original concept imagery that you'd done of various wolf protagonists. At the point that you approached us, I think you had them locked in. You'd already pitched those to Dan, and you were saying this is you showed us Triangle, and you were like, this is the one we're gonna go with. Are you interested in coming aboard? Yeah, I think it
was entirely the brain of Pat that came up with that.
Yeah. And then
it was definitely one of those songs that was gave me an immediate image in my head.
Yeah. I remember you having some really early beat boards before it was even storyboarded out.
So a beat board is you take very particular key moments from the narrative, and you showcase the composition or the visuals for those. Is that right?
That's how I understand it.
Okay.
Oh man. Tibbs asked, "What's my process for figuring out what to cook for dinner?" A lot of it is what's around. I think I've been lucky enough that I've gotten to the point of cooking that I kind of just look at what ingredients I have, and I'll pick like bases. I don't go out and get a lot of unique ingredients unless I have a specific idea in mind. I try to get versatile ingredients. So I'm like, oh, this week I want to do, something with a lot of zucchini or like squash or something. So I'll make sure to get squash. But really, when it comes up to cooking, I just kind of like, hey, what do I have? I've got some pork that's thawed. I've got some oranges. So let's sear some pork, pop some, squeeze some orange juice and zest in there, and then like add some spices, and we'll do like the pork barbacoa slow cooked thing and pop it on a tortilla.
That sounds very, very efficient and smart. Indy and I went shopping together for the first time in like a month, and we split up while we were in the store, and when we reconvened, we realized that we had a shit ton of bread and cheese and sandwich fillings. We was making sandwiches for days.
Yeah, that's us now. For the next month, it's sandwiches.
But because we're generally advised to spend the least amount of time in the store, we were like, oh, well, this is what we got. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's get the checkout done.
Like supermarket sweep or something.
So yeah, I've got a very tall stack of sandwich fillings now in the fridge.
As you should.
Yeah, like especially now that you shouldn't really be going out every day to get new ingredients and such.
Yeah.
It must very much be a matter of just what can I make out of what I have left.
Yeah.
I actually have a secret Tumblr where I post recipes.
You have a secret Tumblr?
It's secret. You guys know of it.
Yeah,
but I don't
I know.
advertise it.
Oh yeah,
Are you okay to let the people in the stream in on secret, or do you want to keep it secret?
I might keep it a secret. It's really not like a Tumblr. It's like kind of like just a cookbook. So there's like a lot of recipes in there that like aren't good, but they're like experiments, and so I'm like keeping track of them.
I tried one of them and it was pretty good.
Posts will change over time as I'm like, like I make a potato bread, and it's like I found out that keeping some of that starchy potato water helps with the bread making, or like that kind of stuff, and I'll adjust the recipe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we cooked one of them. It was like the chicken and...
It's like a stew?
Yeah.
It was real good.
Chicken and onion. That's a nice simple one.
Yeah, we trying.
Yeah, it's still one we make every now and then because it's good.
It is hella good. Like neither India nor I are very good at cooking, but following that
Excuse
recipe...
me, speak for yourself.
I'm not very good at cooking, and India is marginally better than I am. And we were able to make something that was like blew our tongues away. So with that.
I cannot wait to get you guys down here to Texas.
We can't either. I've heard things from you about Texas.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to go.
See, we have a question someone asked about magnum bullets, I think.
Oh, cool.
Let's see.
And sorry if I'm talking like lower than normal. I'm in my living room. The roommate's asleep. He says he can't hear things through the door, but I want to be,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
respectful.
Understandable.
I know how important sleep is.
Yeah. Sleep is for the strong.
Okay. Question about magnum bullets. How do you tackle a scene like the main bullet one of the video? Like, what are the steps when making a scene that one where the zooming in and out constantly? Hope that is understandable. At this hours, my English is not exactly the best. There's a couple of scenes in Magnum Bullets where it tracks a bullet. Do you mean the vertical rising one, or do you mean the horizontal one? Let's see if they reply.
I mean, they're both pretty similar. They involve a very long background and a lot of assets that are exported individually, and then in After Effects they are pulled across the screen. I think when we showcased some of David's animation on the rising bullet scene, I showed that like he did a lot of loops, a lot of silhouettes falling, but individual animations, and then those were given to Michael, and he's the one who took all those individual elements and then made them into that final scene.
Yeah. In terms of arranging it and everything, I basically just arranged them all in the vertical space in After Effects, and then in After Effects you can set a camera, and then I translated the camera up through everything. And because you can use Z depth in After Effects as well, I pushed some of the assets closer to the camera and some farther away, so that when it's raising up, you get different rates, and it makes the space feel a lot more immersive. Because if you're doing that, your eye level is changing constantly, and so things are like moving down in perspective and up in perspective. And then there's a part where it hits the grate. The camera move itself, the background, that was built in Blender. So the long texture is just a big plane with a painting texture on it, and then when it raises above the grate, it actually enters a 3D scene with the window at the behind and the table and everything. And then I added 2D planes of India's drawn characters, populating that, and then the camera in Blender raises up and like goes through. So I had two separate cameras for two different elements, and then I stuck them together in After Effects.
As you do.
Yeah, that shot I actually built a couple of different ways to try and see. I was originally going to do it in After Effects completely, and then I was like, oh, I want to see if Blender can like make it feel a bit more seamless. But I found that trying to populate a Blender scene with all of those animated planes of all the characters meant that my computer slowed down to the point where I couldn't really review it, and it was a lot more management than doing it in After Effects. So I kind of tried to take the best of both worlds. Yeah, I learned a lot on.
I think I speak for everybody here that like you did an amazing job.
Thank you. I learned a lot of I made a lot of mistakes, I feel, behind the scenes trying to figure things out that I would not do the same things again. So it was a little bit more experimental than I would have liked, but I came out the other side with bright eyes and a bushy tail to try and improve. Like, I'm currently doing stuff in Blender now.
Two little horns.
Yes. Currently doing stuff in Blender now that has been helped by those processes. Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to remember where I saved this scene. I remember it's scene 23.
Everybody save, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Everybody save your work.
Everybody save. File. Open. Recent. I don't have...
Tib says, I'm still building my cooking knowledge, so I end up focusing on what can I cook that will last me 4 days. And then I have chili for the rest of the week. Chili is great, though.
I know the struggle.
Well, chili's one of those things where you put it in a container and put it in the fridge and it gets better through the week.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, that's a hard thing to get around. Like, buying things like chicken or ground meat is a good way to get around that, because you can like use a little bit and then put the rest in the fridge. And as long as you cook every day, it shouldn't go bad before you can get to it.
Pro cooking tips.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't do chili so much, but I do love a nice Italian bolognese. But I have to be in the mood for it because that takes 5 hours to cook.
Oh, bolognese is so good though.
Oh yes.
So good. I don't cook mine for 5 hours because I'm too impatient. Whenever I cook, it's always because I'm hungry. So I tend to just do it for like half an hour or something.
I mean, that's understandable.
My dad's a big bolognese fan though, and he will simmer it for like 3 hours.
Yeah, when we visit your dad's, it's usually like, if he's gonna cook us dinner, he's like, would you like bolognese or would you like curry? And they're both equally amazing, so it's difficult to choose. I think the curry might win out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does cook it at like, he starts cooking at 4 o'clock to get ready for like 7 or 8 though.
Yeah.
It's dedication. That man makes a mean chili.
Dedication.
So we have all sorts of artists in here tonight. Look at all these folksies.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello. Hello. We're if you've just joined us, we're talking with Patrick Stannard, CEO of Knights at Light Table. We're just having a chilled out chat 'cause Patrick's finishing off some animation work and we're working on our own project.
Can I tell you guys something that was like something that like shouldn't have been off-putting, but it kind of caught me off guard when I visited Ireland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People saying good morning.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
How
I just
come?
work, I guess, in a very casual environment, I guess. But I'm used to just kind of like, hello, and, you know, how are you doing? Like, that's you know, how are you is like the main greeting. And you say, oh, I'm fine. But good morning, I know of it. I'm very familiar with it. But I guess people just didn't say it to me very much because we started going to various, you know, hotels and stuff as we were going around the countryside, just like being awake in the morning and then having everyone saying good morning, people I didn't know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know, that just threw me off, and I was like, good morning, I guess.
That's interesting.
I guess it is a good morning. And it's not like the fact that I didn't know them. It's just that I guess good morning feels more like a intimate thing, I guess, for me.
Oh, like your
as someone
family
growing up in the States.
Yeah, your family would be like, good morning, and that's the only people that would say it to you.
It's like your family, someone you're making breakfast, that's who you say good morning to. You don't say it to like someone at the bus stop.
Oh, that's interesting, because the way I guess we read it in England, where I grew up, it's more like it's just like a gesture of goodwill to people to say good morning to them, and it's almost a way to like greet people but not have to ask them how they are and actually like engage with them in conversation. It's more just like a nod and a smile.
Morning.
What about you
That kind of
guys in
thing.
chat? Do you guys in chat live in a place where they frequently say good morning, or is that something
Am I
that
just
we've
full of
been
shit?
doing for like 3 years without realizing that everyone's been like, but hey?
Oh, well, yeah, your catchphrase "Good Anna Morning" every day for every stream is
Yeah, I
Never
can
even
see
considered
why.
it.
I can see why if you're not used to it, that might feel like weirdly overly intimate for strangers to say to you.
I mean, there's the Truman Show film with its catchphrase, which is like, I'm gonna paraphrase here, but it's like, "Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and if I don't see you, good night," or something like that.
Yeah,
And that's an American produced show.
but possibly we interpreted it differently to the way they intended it to be read.
It's like, why are you hitting me with times of the day?
Look says, I say how are you more than I'm comfortable with.
You know what really catches me off guard is when you go into somewhere like where they're selling you coffee or like a quick like a burrito place or something, and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm good, thanks. How are you?" And then they don't reply.
Yeah, and you're like, okay.
they're like, "How are you getting on? Like, how are you?" And it's they don't want to know. They just want to appear like they want to know. And then I'm always like, oh, "I'm good. How are you doing?" And they're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, right, yeah."
Okay, bye.
Cheshire says here in Australia it's more, hey, how are you? And Everything is Nan says, as a Swede, I get instinctively horrified when strangers talk to me in public.
I saw someone post a picture of Swedes waiting for a bus, and they're all like 6 feet away from each other, and it's like, we're dealing really well with this social distancing thing. 'Cause it was taken like before COVID.
Yeah.
New.
Oh, Solar Sebast says, here some people even get upset when someone doesn't reply with good morning. Well, that's stressful. A casual greeting shouldn't have that much stress attached to it.
Yeah, how did you adapt? Did you acclimatize to it, Patrick? We were like, good morning, yes.
Did you go back to Austin and start saying good morning to everyone?
No, it stopped pretty much after I got back to Texas. I haven't said howdy yet. I've been holding off on that. I have accepted y'all though as a fun thing to say.
I realized that I said I earlier. I don't know when that filtered into my general language use. Like
it's living with me is making you more street and hip.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think that's
you
what it
reckon
is.
So. Because you're the street and hippest person I know, India.
I know. Exactly.
Shut up, I know it.
I think you'll come round to howdy eventually.
Maybe.
Because that also sounds quite fun to say.
There's a lot of fun like sayings in Texas. Texas is like... So I'm not from Texas, right? I'm from the great up north, right? I spent many years in Canada and
Saskatchewan.
grew up in Michigan.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
And oh, dude, there's some town names up there that like you look at them and they don't make any sense. Which I'm sure anyone who's close to the UK knows that because looking Wales makes no sense. Those town names.
We have a ton of them.
Yeah.
In Ireland, it's because a lot of the names are still like translated from Irish. Yeah, there's a lot of names with kill in them. There's lots of places just called Kill, which I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what it means. It might
some
mean
called Kilpatrick, which is not my favorite.
I think.
Yeah.
I think kill might be church.
Church or
something.
it's something very common. Yeah.
I think it's something like because Kirk. I think Kirk in Scotland is church.
So, what's your favorite name of a town, then, Pat, in America or in Texas?
Oh, like as far as like weird to say,
Yeah, fun.
or in terms of, well, Michigan's got a few because there's a lot of like Native American towns that have been obviously co-opted.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got there's an island called Mackinac. Looks like it says Mackinac. Ypsilanti, I think that's my favorite one.
Ypsilanti.
Probably. Ypsilanti's pretty good. Yeah, let me find that one. I'm telling you how to pronounce it. I should have just had you try it.
It's a trap.
Wow, I spelled it right on the first time. Yeah, here, I'll post it in the chat for everybody.
Oh, wow.
Michigan's got a few of them. I'm trying to remember some of them. Oh, my hometown, Kalamazoo, is up on there.
Kalamazoo. Oh, that's really fun.
We have God, we got some good ones. We've got Vulcan, Michigan. We've got Kalamazoo, love it. Hell, Michigan, very popular.
Hell. Wow.
There's also Paradise, Michigan. Flipping Wyoming, Michigan.
Isn't Hell like a Norwegian kind of town name as well?
Possibly.
That might be a crossover there. Is it spelled H-E-L-L or H-E-L?
Mm-hmm. Yep, 2 L's. Of course there is.
Oh wow, okay.
There's if you're driving east across Michigan, you'll eventually hit a fork in the highway, and you can either decide to go to Hell or you can go to Detroit, and it's a hard decision sometimes.
Wow. I thought you were going to say Hello Paradise.
I know there's also Climax, Michigan.
Wow. Nice.
There's a
I'm almost
there's
there.
a Climax, and there's also a Mount.
Michael. That was a very good joke.
Thank you.
And there's also a Mount Pleasant, and Mount Pleasant, mountain, not that pleasant.
I've heard Mount Pleasant used in a lot of stuff. I think because the name is so good.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect place to have creepy things happen.
Yeah, I was saying this some roundabout way came back to Texas, and
Thank you for the follow.
I forgot what I was going to talk about. Maybe it was weird accents or dialects or something. Yeah, it's such a big state that there's such a lot of different cultures in here. You know, I work with people from West Texas and East Texas, and they are completely different. You know, one's from, you know, like Creole and from Cajun and swamp towns. And the other one's from middle of bumfuck nowhere, desert, cow skulls, you know, and giant canyons.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up in the chat, so we appreciate their questions.
Yes. I'm sorry, we went on a tangent there.
Oh, no worries, Patrick.
I
No
love
worries.
hearing about this stuff. It's super cool.
I think we can wrap around to it because the conversation will catch up, and we'll catch up with ourselves. Solar Sebas asks, is it true that Starlight Brigade was made with everyone on the team working remotely? Do you find it more challenging to work that way? In terms of the team structure of Starlight Brigade, Indy and I work next to one another, but the rest of the team are spread across internationally. We did have another team member in Ireland as well, L Power, the lead animator. She would sometimes come over and visit us because she lived not too far away, and that was possible. But the other team members were all communicated with remotely. We usually use Discord, which we're using to call Patrick just now, to keep in touch with everyone. Do you, as for a
good portion of nights is actually in the UK and Ireland, and a lot of it's because I've used the Animation Breakfast Club as like a recruiting ground.
Yeah,
lots of super skilled people in there.
That's how I found Hardick, Kevin, Tibbs, L, a lot of people.
Us. That's how we first got introduced to you, I
Renee?
think.
Was Renee found from there, or was she?
I think Renee was a recommendation from you and I. There was a point on Harboner where Patrick was looking for a background artist, and we recommended Renee.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
You guys can kind of see why it's such a tight knit group.
Yeah, like a lot of us are really good pals already.
I think that's why community is really important within animation, since it's so collaborative and you have to trust the people that you're working with. It's really nice to work with your friends. It's tough as well because if it's a flat hierarchy, it's a little bit better. But when you have to direct people who are like your friends, it's like you have to have almost two head states where it's like, I love and appreciate your work, and I have to make sure that you're making the appropriate content for the project we're working on. And I almost step outside of myself and go, one is like friend Mike, and one is director Mike, who will paint over your work and will try and guide you as best he can with his limited skill sets. And then I'm
You
really
do great, Mike.
I'm really enjoying, because I'm currently working as like background director for the project we're on. I'm really enjoying that process of like trying to refine my own ability to communicate what we're going for, at the same time figuring it out.
Man.
What's that, Patrick?
Oh, I just said it's an art form.
Yeah,
Just
directing
learning
is,
how to communicate properly.
Yeah, it's true.
let's see.
But yeah, like we also look for people who we have worked with before, or people who we can see what their work method is like. Because even if you're friends with someone, you know, there's other factors as well that you need to make sure. Someone can be good, but we always look for people who are reliable, kind of above everything else.
Habo says one is friend Mike, the other is fiend Mike.
I get the added benefit that I'm all the way over here in Texas, so if I piss them off, they can't get to me.
That's what you think. One day we'll get over there.
Yeah, I think it for me. I think it's much easier that I like you guys.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I found that like it's gonna sound really, I don't know, pretentious maybe, but like being super honest is kind of the best way to go about it. And so, but people think that like being really honest with someone is kind of just being kind of an ass.
Yeah.
And like you can be honest about your compliments too, and I try to put effort into properly articulating a specific thing that I like about someone. One, because it makes me more aware of them, you know, just so I try not to take people for granted, and I make a concerted effort for it. But like, you know, I can want someone to fix something and it to be different, and I put a lot of effort into the communication aspect of that, but I try to be as honest as possible. And like, if it is like, yeah, this isn't working, or like this is going really slow, like, but you can buffer that with a legit compliment about someone's ability, because we don't hire anyone at Knights that we don't truly believe in.
Yeah.
And so there's always going to be something in there that, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. We don't hire people we don't want to work with, so we always want to make it work the best we can.
Yeah. And we haven't really had like major issues.
No, luckily, we've managed to stay clear of those for the most part. I think it is partially because, like Patrick in particular, you're a really good communicator. Like if that's something that you think about consciously, then it shows. Like you're really, really good at giving specific feedback and just like great at communicating ideas to people.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For definite.
It comes from growing up not being able to do that and being very self-conscious about it.
Oh, really? I never would have thought that.
Yeah. I was a real bad mumbler. I still have sometimes like my words would get slurred a little bit. It's kind of almost a Michigan thing as well. A lot of Michiganders slur their words together. And a lot of S's become like SH's and stuff, like T's become D's.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I don't think it was until I started hitting like high school that people started like pointing it out, like, what the hell are you saying?
Oh no.
I was like, I don't know. I just got so excited that something had to come out of my mouth, and I didn't really care what it was.
Yeah. Patrick origin story.
But like, it is it's a learned skill, for sure. And I'm sure they teach classes on it. So far, mine's just been learned from helpful peers and just trial and error at this point.
Yeah.
That's
and some,
encouraging.
YouTube videos here and there.
Yeah, it's good to know it's a learnable skill.
I think
'Cause a lot of-
communication is learnable. I want to learn how to communicate better, like more specifically, get visual communication into a verbal format, because I feel like if I can quickly communicate what it is I'd like to push the artist in the direction of, then it saves me a little bit of time having to paint over quite so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna
And
get
also,
there.
like, sometimes it's important to paint over something. Sometimes that visual feedback is absolutely needed.
Yeah.
I'd say a lot of times. But I've also witnessed other directors, thankfully no one here, but like, who will just up and redo people's work, and that can sap morale really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Because then someone doesn't feel like their work is valued, and they don't feel like their contribution matters.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's another reason to kind of put concerted effort into being good at communicating.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do that. You want to keep people's spirits high and know that, like, yes, I believe that you can fix this. I just think it needs to be in a different direction.
Yeah. 100%. Like the draw-overs that you were doing on Nightwolf were so helpful.
Thank you.
I learned so much from them.
I mean, like, you're like the flipping queen of draw-overs, though.
Really? I don't feel like I am. But
Oh my god, are you kidding me? How many strives could we pull up that, like, you've done beautiful draw-overs of?
I didn't need to do too many for that, luckily. Like, Elle was like had that model on lock on that project, which is one of the reasons we were like, yep, you're our lead animator. Because she just nailed that model like every time. So it was nice to have that kind of backup on the project. That when I couldn't do draw-overs, people could go to Elle.
India was
Doodle Curls and Animated Moon agree.
Aww.
So Doodle Curls Patrick is Bryony.
Thanks, guys.
Oh.
So she's working with us on Mystic Crystal as the lead final line artist.
Yeah.
I got it right this morning, guys.
Hey.
Got it right. We're making a conscientious effort to rather than saying cleanup, Patrick, we say final line, but it's just something they're trying to introduce in Cartoon Saloon because it's a better description of the responsibility of the people who are like who are drawing the final lines that you'll see in the film.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Thanks.
I've always found like inking works pretty good too, using kind of comic terminology.
Yeah, exactly. I think cleanup has some stigma attached to it where people assume it's not as intensive or needs as much skill as it does.
Well, its terminology has also kind of been flipped, because it used to be cleanup was what you did to a rough drawing. So you would take a rough drawing and you would clean it up. We call that process tie down.
Oh.
And somewhere along the lines these got flipped. But it used to be that was cleanup. You were cleaning up your drawing. And then tie down was, like tying a boat to a dock, right? It's done. That's the tie down phase.
Oh wow. I wonder when that switched.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it has something to do with like the difference between like Canadian and American animation studios, and I think they got it right. We got it wrong somehow. I don't remember the exact story.
Oh. That's super
Somewhere in the
interesting.
deep lore of animation.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna, let's see. Being Motive says, I have a question. Being that I am working towards polishing my animation, 3D rendering, video editing, comic making, and game developing with pixel art.
It's a lot of stuff.
How much is too much to take on? Like, I have fun learning new things, but I wonder if I should focus on less things sometimes. But you want to learn everything. Let's see. How much is too much to take on? I think if you are...
Boy, am I a good judge of this?
Yeah.
Patrick is currently coming off of the tail. Is it fair to say you're coming off the tail end of trying to do too much at once?
Yes. I think me and David are in a similar boat if he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the avenues of learning all those different disciplines, I think if jumping around too much prevents you from finishing things or from like
Doing it to the best of your ability.
yeah, then I think you're sort of like you're procrastinating constructively in a way where you're like, I'll try this. And you're picking up and dropping a lot of things rather than juggling them. Like you're sort of like picking it up, looking at it, putting it down again, and that's going to be really fun. It's going to be like you're going to be learning a lot of stuff that you can apply to what you want to make. And you might be making pieces here and there, but there's a lot of power and a lot of learning available to you in starting a project, working your way through it, finishing it, and getting it out there. That like the sum of the parts is way greater than just the parts themselves, because you'll learn more about your creative process if you force yourself through the funnel of getting it done. So yeah, I think if you find yourself like you're splitting your time too much and you're becoming distracted, then you'll know that like you're doing too much. But in terms of like trying to pick like a life direction of like which one should I focus on, that's a really personal thing to you. Yeah, I came up with a saying like a year or so back, which kind of ties into when you're practicing in preparation to make something, and you're like, when I'm good enough, I'll make that thing. I liken it to like sharpening your sword without actually using the sword to cut anything. So you don't know how sharp your sword is yet, but you're continually like sharpening it down till it's like the sharpest possible. But the sword is
eventually ain't gonna have a sword.
Yeah, the sword is effectively not being used for its purpose if you're continually just,
if you never actually
it.
use it. Yeah.
To the point that you sharpen both sides and it becomes a double-edged sword.
The metaphor's expanding. There's no stopping this metaphor.
Anyway, yeah. So my advice.
I knew there was a reason we kept you around.
My advice really is, pick up the sword, throw it at a tree, see how far you can cut into the tree.
So it's good advice there, Mike.
Yeah, because you're always waiting to genuinely cut something, then you won't know how sharp your sword is until you cut something with it.
Yeah,
it's very true.
We need a wisdom bear emote real bad, says Habo.
Maybe that's one you can make, Mike.
We need to have like little glasses and like a smoking jacket and a pipe.
Yes.
You have been visited by Wisdom Bear.
He's bestowed upon you his
Or
wisdom.
could it be like a Doigle bear head, but it's like cracked open like a fortune cookie with a little piece of paper.
Why are you
inside.
cracking my head open?
That's cute though.
It is cute.
It's pistachio flavored.
Okay.
Pistachio's the best flavor.
Let's be good stream hosts.
Such a good flavor.
And actually go back and read some of the other questions.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Luke says I asked a thing as well, but it got buried. So
Don't
maybe we should
worry.
see if we can find it.
I have the power of scroll.
Yes.
Thanks, Frank.
You have the power.
How
While you find that question, that just reminds me of, in case anyone was curious, the way that I discovered you guys. And that was through the, because I just said, you have the power, which is from the Battle Kid playthrough.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's how I found Michael in India, was through a fantastic little section of a collaboration animation they worked on.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons it's important to finish things, is a lot of the people we bring on because we see their work, like their personal work or their professional work. So you've got to make sure what you do is out there so people can see it.
Yeah, like there's a big difference between I want to do this and I have done this. Like one is aspiration, and the other is work. Tangibility. Application.
One is aspiration. Yeah.
That's good. I like
real
that.
good.
Yeah. Lux Capacitator said, "I'm really well." I'll just reply to you, Patrick, on that. Is like, I'm really glad you found us.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that India was like, Mike, they're doing a Grumps big animation collaboration. I want to do it, and I'm like, well, India, you know, you've got a full-time job and everything. That's gonna be how many seconds are you gonna take on? 4, 5, 17, Michael, and I want to do it.
You can't stop me.
That was a rough month for me.
It was fun as well, though. Well, I thought it was fun.
Okay, so I will get to your question.
The dichotomy of that.
Lux
Like,
Capacitator.
I almost died. And he's like, no, it's fun.
Well,
Yeah.
my month went, well, the previous December went, okay, cool, Christmas is great, visit the family, everything's cool. 6 days after Christmas, my mum collapsed and was sent to hospital with a brain aneurysm.
Oh, I forgot that was at the same time.
Yeah, so my first 2 weeks of that month was visiting my mom in hospital, and India stayed here, and she was working on the boards and everything. And then after 2 weeks, my mom was like put into recovery, and she was doing okay. And so I was like, I can stay here with my mom, and you know, I have like siblings and stuff, and they were my sister was like handling a lot of the stuff. I feel kind of bad now that I made this decision, but in some ways, like, how different would my life be if I hadn't? My mom's fine now, by the way. Everything's like, you know, she's good.
That's good.
But then it was like, I have to get back to Dublin to help India complete this animation because
Like
the deadline.
the least of your worries.
Because the deadline. Well, two women in my life that I love the most is you and my mom. So.
But yeah, the animation could have waited though.
It probably could have, since it was, yeah. Anyway, I traveled back. So my month was 2 weeks of visiting my mom in hospital, and then a crunch 2 weeks of getting that 17 seconds backgrounds painted, composited, frames colored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough but very, very good month for me.
Yeah, Jeez, I'd forgotten that was at the same time. It's just a blur for me.
I remember it fairly well.
I bet.
Okay. Well, it's Capacitator's question. How do you balance hobbies, addictions, and jobs when trying to be productive? How much of what you do you consider a hobby and the rest a job? If you are working to a client brief, it's a job. If you're making it for yourself, it's
a hobnob.
It's a hobby more than anything. Like, I think it's important to do stuff that doesn't have pressure attached. Because if everything you're doing is for someone else, then you're continually like giving out parts of yourself and not regenerating. You got to be like Wolverine, and you got to regenerate. Anyway,
Gotta get that the metal skeleton. It's part of being an animator.
Yeah. If there are any more questions that we have missed, can you please paste them into the current chat, because I want to.
Yeah. If you got stuff for me, do them quick, because I'm gonna be heading out here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Quick.
Oh, it's been so nice to have you, Pat.
Yeah.
I wish you could.
That's
stick
been like
around
the
longer.
saving grace of all this extra work.
Yeah. Like, on one hand, I wish we could just have
Hang
you
out with
around
you
longer.
guys.
But on the other hand, I'm like, you'd probably get some sleep also at some point.
That's a very important thing to do.
But yeah, if you ever want to hang out when you're working or anything, then just hit us up. It's awesome chatting with you.
Animated Moon says, looking for any new recruits.
We're always keeping our eyes peeled for people.
Always keeping our eyes peeled.
Yeah. It depends a lot of the time on the
piece
project.
in a huge machine. When seeing your work massively altered or removed entirely from a final product without ever being told why. I mean, that's... So in those scenarios, you have to kind of be aware of your job as a professional artist. So there's a saying, I can't remember who said it, but it's very poetic. And it was, if you make something with your hands, you're a laborer. If you make something with your hands and your brain, you're a craftsman. And if you make something with your hands, your brain, and your heart, you're an artist.
Aw.
And then I would add on top of that a professional artist is someone do that when they don't want to. Like, for me, that's the difference between like a professional comedian and just someone who's funny. Is if a professional comedian, if they're having a bad day and they don't want to tell jokes and they don't want to try to make people laugh, they can do it and they can kill, and they'll do amazing at it because that's their job. And so this comes back to this and that, kind of like know the job, and if you're not being fulfilled in this job, it's time to look, not necessarily for another career choice, but maybe try to find a different company, and like you might have to do a bit of scouting, but you have to kind of exercise a little bit of stoicism in scenarios like that, where you kind of understand what it is you're being hired for, in its most honest, brutal fashion. Accept it for what it is, and do what you can to kind of keep your mental sanity while also retaining your reputation. And a lot of that means, you do a good job, you say, yes, sir, I'll get it done, and you get it done. And then, as long as you're making good compensation, right? As long as you're making a paycheck, you can chalk it up to, all right, this is going to feed me, and I can move on to the next thing, and it'll be an experience, and I will learn from it what I can. A lot of the really shitty jobs that I worked before I started doing, because like I've worked on things like The Littlest Angel, and I don't want to call it a shitty job. It was an early job.
Yeah.
I don't want to call any of my jobs shitty, but there's definitely jobs where it's like my heart's not in it. But I was like, all right, need this by this point. I have accepted it. That's the scenario that I'm in, and I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to learn from it what I can. Sometimes I'll find little things and stuff like that where it's like, this is, I worked on things like Jasper the Mule, right? These little straight to DVD things.
Yeah.
Very simple Flash animation. And I'm like, I interned at Disney. I shouldn't have to do this. Or I can think, I've not really done a lot of simple puppet efficient animation before. How quick can I get this animation done? How efficiently can I get it done and still make it look good while learning puppet tools in Adobe Animate? And then I get something out of it that's a little bit more fulfilling. And then I accept that job. The job is done. It goes into my past, and I move on to the next thing. And it's that kind of stoicism that gets you through it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with perspective and just like reframing it in your own mind for yourself. Like whenever I'm working on something that I'm not particularly passionate about, I'll just find the thing that excites me about it, because there's always something.
Find your own fun type thing.
Yeah, find the thing that makes me want to work on it.
Yeah.
I love that quote though. That's beautiful.
I can't remember who originally said it. I heard it somewhere. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
There was a really fun analogy, and I'm trying to remember if I can think of it the correct way. Because it's like being at an airport and you find out that you need to get this flight, and you've been waiting in line forever, and it's just not happening, and eventually they tell you that it's been canceled. And it's like, or it's not canceled, but like, it looks like it might be canceled, and you're like really waiting a long time, and like you kind of don't know what's going to happen. And then it's like the cynic is going to just give up, screw it, get really angry. I'm going to try to get a refund or something, and like march, get really pissed off and then upset about it. The optimist is going to stay there too long, hoping that something good is going to happen. And this comes back to, I guess, the term stoicism, but like the stoic person is going to accept the scenario that they're in and like, all right, I'm probably not going to get that ticket. But that's just what it is. And so maybe I'll try to find a hotel, right? And like, you don't really get angry at the situation because you kind of accepted it, that it's out of your control. And I try to apply that to a lot of things in life. And I try not to do it in a way that's, again, cynical, where you are defeatist, right? You don't want to be defeatist, but sometimes there's things that are your control, and you have to accept it when, it's not your fault. It's just, this is what the scenario is. So how do we make the best of it? And once you accept that, you can move forward, and you just accrue less stress as a result, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's less mentally
taxing. Am I making
taxing.
sense, or am I just rambling?
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, in particular, when I think about things like deadline slipping, it can be easy to like beat yourself up about stuff like that, but then you remember that everyone on the project is like doing their absolute best and doing really good work to make that happen. And it's like, if that's how long it takes to make, sometimes that's how long it takes to make.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily, anyone's fault because everyone's already pulling out their all. So there's no sense, everyone beating themselves up about it. But you also have to be realistic about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of strength in just accepting situations and then going forward from there rather than dwelling on them.
It's almost like a utilitarian way to think about it.
Yeah, like you don't want to waste more energy on it than you need to when you can be putting that energy towards a solution.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Doodle Girls. I have to make up some of my own though.
Throw your sword at a tree. That's where's mine.
Pat is writing a book of riddles, though. Do you think you could hit the
My
chat with
God.
one of your riddles, Pat, and see if they can get it?
Sure. Let me see what I got here. What's the latest one I wrote? Can't believe, guys, you just called me out for my riddle writing.
You shouldn't write such good riddles if you don't want to be called out for them.
Patrick the Riddler. Garthius 92, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Animation Breakfast Club. Say hello if you wish. You say hello. How are you finding yourself this morning?
Yeah, hope you're having a good day so far.
We really appreciate Patrick's riddles. He's a riddle king.
These might be hard to get across with audio. But I'll do the best I can. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I might type it out while you
Alright.
say it.
All right. A field of fletchings feeds, for I am the jaw that chews the bead. A music box that mutters things, of bickering bones, of fettered wings. A familiar song an artisan heeds, for I am the jaw that chews the beads.
Okay, I found it in the chat, so I'm gonna paste it into the.
Did you just like?
Oh, is that one I already told you guys?
Did you search it? Did we ever guess that one?
We did, but it was a difficult one for us to guess.
Okay.
We were circling around some things that were close but not right.
Should I do a different one? One that's easier for the chat?
No.
I think they can do it.
Let them.
All right.
Let's see. Field of fletching speeds. I am the jaw that chews
I-
the bead.
I remember I had to change it a long time ago because I originally wrote Fletchling, which is a type of Pokemon.
Yes,
Oh.
it's a Kanto region riddle. Bet you guys weren't expecting such a poetic riddle, were you?
I just want to read out. Steiny was saying that it's great hearing you again, Pat. That they miss your streams, and this is Steiny, by the way, if you remember.
Aw. Hey, Steiny, I do remember you. And a lot of them. Well, I just gotta get more time. I've been pretty booked as of late. Very, very busy.
Yep.
Why they do that one? I don't know if you guys know this one. Have I told you guys the click-clack riddle?
Yes.
Okay. Damn it.
We might
that
get
the-
that
Gotta
one.
make more riddles.
It's a good one though.
That the click clack to the wickety back one. I'm kidding.
That's
Biz Bab with the Bizzity Bab.
Sorry.
There was one that my friend Abby made that I absolutely love. And I think I told you guys, it's the Pale Highway.
Oh.
I don't know if I remember that one.
See this pale highway wind, follow it, and you will find. Northwards, the capital of reason. Southwards, the end of all mankind.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, that's cool.
She did like one riddle, and it's like better than all of my riddles.
That is a
It's
real
so
good riddle.
efficient, and it's brilliant. I can't get over how smart it is.
I mean, I love your riddles too, but
So
that is very good.
again, how does that go?
See this pale highway wind, follow it, and you will find one way the capital of reason, the other the end of all mankind. Animated Moon got close on the one that I said. And Neg Design got the answer to the one I just said.
Nice.
So congrats.
It
It is a spinal cord.
I was wondering about that. I was gonna say body though, which isn't right. But I was like, could they really mean a butt?
They did. They meant a butt. And I love that they worked a pun into this riddle, and it's like 3 lines, and it's brilliant. It's like my favorite riddle.
It's real good.
It's so good.
Wait, the end of all mankind is a butt.
Yeah, it's a rear end.
There was one that I did that was mentioned on the Game Grumps episode, and I since have revised it.
Oh,
It's the Currentless River. Do you guys remember that one?
yeah, I think I do.
So I changed one of the lines in it, but it was Currentless River, I must know, there live no fish in this stream. Will you take me where I need to go, against the wind, on quarry cream? On a waveless lake I might be, in a vessel docked on a waterless sea.
Did we ever get that one?
Yes,
Oh.
I remember the solution, but I'm not gonna spoil it for the chat. It took me a long time to get that one though. That may have been the one I found the hardest. So which line did you change
I
it?
changed it since then because it used to be for what is real was once a dream, and that's all too vague. So I made it into against the wind on quarry cream.
Oh, gotcha.
And I like the kenning of quarry cream, the cream of the quarry.
I like that too. It sounds delicious.
People are still trying to guess the first one. That one's not easy. That one's a complex answer.
Who was it who got the closest?
Someone said only thing they can think of is a bird in a wheat field, and half of that answer is correct. I'm curious as to how they got wheat field. That might be helpful.
Da 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 da.
We got gorshed. Someone's over on the YouTube subscribing.
Oh, thank you, Massimo Dilio.
Aw. Alright, maybe you guys haven't gotten this one. See how you guys fare with the This one's not a rhyming one.
Okay.
But it is, draw 1 curtain, and you know as much or more than me. Draw 2 curtains, and you will see only you. But if I must draw them, they may never be lifted.
Oh.
Animated moon, that's correct. Field of fletchings, thinks of arrows, and wheat is like arrows, yes.
Nice.
A fletching is the feather part of an arrow.
Can you say that article, that last one again, Patrick?
Yes. Draw 1 curtain, and you will know as much or more than me. Draw 2 curtains, and you will see only you. But if I must draw them, they may never be lifted.
Draw 1 curtain and you will see as much or more of me.
India's literally looking around with one eye right now.
I need to figure it out.
I'll let you guys think on that one. I'm going to read this one to Animated Moon again. A field of fletchings feeds, when I am the jaw that chews the bead. A music box that mutters things, of bickering bones, of fettered wings. A familiar song the artisan heeds, for I am the jaw that chews the beads. Motive says, if Gotham relied on me to defeat the Riddler, everyone would die. No, but that's a good idea. That's an interesting take, Animated Moon.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about riddles is sometimes someone will have an answer that's better than the one that you thought of. For riddle, the game of riddles is not about the right answer. It's about guessing what's in your opponent's head.
Ooh. Never thought of it like that before. Is it like a scope?
No.
Mm.
You may have inadvertently been answering the riddle and you didn't even know it.
What? What? I'm sorry.
Oh.
Do you know it, Michael?
He's jabbing his eye with his finger.
Don't jab your eyeball out. You need those.
It's eyelid.
That is correct.
Oh, whoa. I thought the eyelids were the curtains, but I was...
If someone else has to draw them, then they're dead.
Oh. You see, that's the point of logic. I didn't connect.
Sorry, everyone.
Draw 1 curtain and you will know as much or more than me. You're winking. Draw 2 curtains and you will see only you. Because you can't see anything past your eyelids. But if I must draw them, they may never be lifted.
That's a real good one.
Because you'd be dead.
You win
Thank
this
you.
round, Patrick and Mike.
I actually, when she started like closing her eye and like looking around, I was like, wait, is that?
That's the thing is like you said she's closing her eye and I was like, oh, is she miming it? And it's like, no, she's looking around the room like intensely.
I was like, what can see as much or more than me when I have my eye closed?
Oh, I'll see you later, Cheshire. Thank you for stopping by.
To draw curtains, is that specifically open or to close?
Closed.
To
wait,
draw
no.
your curtain.
Yes.
You can draw them.
Can you draw them open or can you only draw them closed?
I don't know. My parents always said draw the curtains for
I always
both
thought it was
scenarios.
closed.
Yeah, that's the first thing I think of.
Okay, it's to close them. Good. Okay. Patrick, have you ever heard India do the Tad voice
Oh,
for one
no,
of the
come
villagers in
on.
Animal Crossing?
Well, you'll
Tad?
That's a no.
have to. I guess you'll just have to watch the episodes when they come out, and then you can see it.
So we've been playing Animal Crossing, and one of India's villagers is a small buff frog, and David is so enamored by her voice for him that he asked her to read out one of your riddles as Tad.
Oh, but my voice is all...
There's a weird society developing now. And
Around
it's
Animal
going to be
Crossing.
involved riddles that I write
Oh,
that India says in Tad's voice, and there's an audience for that.
oh no. Oh no. I don't know if I can.
Another time, perhaps, for it is 3:30 a.m. and I must get to sleep.
Yes, you must go.
All right. That's
Thanks
fair.
so much for hanging out with us, Pat. This has been super cool.
Animated Moon, it is not a mouse. Do you have one last guess? And do you want me to tell you the answer?
You can do it, Steiny.
All right, so I won't say the answer. If Animated Moon keeps guessing and gets it right, I think you guys know the answer.
Yeah.
But don't tell him if it is not asked for.
Won't do.
All right. Thank you guys for hopping on this stream with all of us. I'm going to depart and leave you in the capable hands of Michael and India.
Thanks, Patrick. It's been really, really cool to catch up and just talk with you. It's been really nice.
One of these days, I got to do it when it's like when the sun's outside.
Yeah. When you aren't nocturnal anymore. But yeah.
All right.
Good luck
Well,
with
you-
everything, Pat.
Thank you very much. I am going to use all my luck and get some good rest.
Okay.
You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll probably hop back. I'll be awake in 8 or so hours, so you'll be around at that point,
We
Okay.
should be. If we're not, there'll be
and I'll say hi.
something wrong.
Sounds good.
Okay, Pat. You sleep well.
All right. You as well, whenever you do,
Night, night, Pat.
and all that stuff. Night.
And Pat has departed. He's departed.
It departed.
I don't know if I can do the Tad voice today because I feel a bit ill. I
Oh.
haven't tried out my voice, so
Okay.
let me see. Looks Capacitor says, I need to hear Tad say.
We live in a society.
I'm sorry, that's the best I can do today.
Whoa!
Oh. Rest your voice.
Yeah, I've come down with something.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely. But I do feel better today than I did yesterday night. So hopefully, whatever I have is a very brief thing, and it's going to just keep getting better. Oh well, I'm emboldened by the fact that I woke up this morning and felt better than I did last night.
Mm. Some of these songs,
I can't hear them anymore.
I know I've been listening to them the whole time.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Can people on stream hear them?
Yeah.
Nice. I know that feeling, Steiny. Like, oh, I'm this close to the answer. If I could just wrap my head around it. The problem with riddles is I always overthink them. Oftentimes I come to the answer in my pursuit of the answer, but don't think it's the answer.
Habbo, I don't know if this is the same vocalist. I think it's the same composer of the instrument though.
You've gotten a lot of past riddles before you have a reputation to uphold. It says feat Red Revision. Is Red Revision the vocalist who was on the other one?
Oh really? Really it is then, yeah.
Save me from myself. Talking out your butt.
Yeah.
You're talking out of the end of all mankind.
Sorry, Habbo, you were on it. I wonder why it only says featuring and doesn't have the rest of...
Well, it's because you cut it off.
I didn't cut it off.
You did. I saw you.
No, I fixed that.
You were in front of me when you did it.
I've changed that since you've seen it and I fixed it.
Okay. I believe you.
This just says featuring Red Revision.
Well, that's a shame because, you know, the rest of the band deserves to be credited also.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out the pattern. That's terrible. I love it.
Oh, I restarted the song accidentally. Sorry.
This is good though. Look, now that I've switched on to an easier scene, I've got all of the blinking frames done and I'm like halfway through the hair frames already.
Oh, good.
I'm going through it so fast that next time I'm going to have to go back onto the really hard scene again. Should have made it last longer. It is nice to get something done faster though. You guys know when you're working on like a super long big project or big scene and then you get to do a little one and you're like, yes, I'm so fast now. I feel like I'm going so fast.
So fast. Okay, I think I want to make the rocks less shiny.
Oh,
What do you mean, oh?
I don't know. I just felt bad for the rocks.
Why did you feel bad for the rock?
Cause they was shiny, shining up and down and making everything look super cool because they were shiny. And the rocks don't normally get to be shiny. So it was special for them and they were shiny. And I don't know the rest of the song or the tune or the words. Don't know if you can tell. Hopefully you just think this is what the song's supposed to sound like.
Very good, India.
Oh, I know. I mean, thank you. I don't really know. I think it started off okay.
Song requests. Type SR into the chat and India will sing a song for you. No,
I'm
no,
sure
just
everyone
kidding.
really wants to hear like a soundtrack and then someone singing over the soundtrack a completely different song. That sounds like a great listening experience.
Donate
You're referencing
$5
work.
and India will sing a song for you.
What? No, don't do that.
I was waiting for that to click. I was like, said it. Looked at her.
It took me a
10
minute for it to
seconds.
register. No. No. No one needs to pay me to sing anything. Just ask me and I'll do it or won't. Yeah, Moneybag Doig. Hey, Enigmatic Amelia, hello.
I don't know. I don't know
Thank you
if
for the raid earlier.
I don't know if India knows. What? Animator? Or Amelia? Amelia, yeah. Use hosting us, thank you. I don't know if India knows Screaming Cowboy.
I'm a screaming cowboy, and I scream across the plains. And I ride on my horse, and I save all the ladies, and I save all the dames. 'Cause I'm just screaming, ah! Cowboy, screaming into the night. And I stream every day, and I scream to the people who want me to do it. They all start off so strong, and then they all just like slowly die, like air being let out of a balloon.
Wait, I'm a screaming cowboy on a screaming horse I ride, and I'm screaming dead or alive. Is that that feels like lyrics to something else?
Yeah, that sounds real good. Oh, you're playing Sea of Thieves. Cool. I've heard that game is good.
Pal bro!
Pal, bro, fella, he's here. He's super cool. Pow Bro gonna tell you to stay in school. If you can, because schools are closed. Because of Corona. So don't go out to school. But stay in and do the Zoom meetings.
waiting for a chance to talk.
Stay in class. Get your education. It's still just as important. Yeah. Sorry, Mike, go on.
No, it's cool. Yeah. Someone clipped India the Screaming Cowboy.
Thank you for if you were talking about my song and not the background song.
I love that people are using like actual like bot commands for song requests like SR and linking things. Trashbot don't know what music is.
Powbro gifted a sub. Powbro, thank you so much for the gifted sub.
Gave the gift of toast to Enigmatic Amelia.
Powbro gave the gift of toast to Enigmatic Amelia.
Do, 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 do. Wait. Song added to queue. Trashbot does know what music requests are.
Trashbot? Who taught you this?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, Nature Huon has arrived. Woohoo!
Oh, cool.
Powbro, thank you so much. You can't have added it to our list though, because our list is downloaded.
Yeah, no, it won't play.
Oh.
But Trashbot knows about it. Let's see. There we go. Apparently these have been added by people.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So Trashbot could play music if Trashbot wanted to. Discombobulation. I'm making the ship. So through all that, I modeled bits and parts of the ship. I added a toon shader. I am now animating it turn in the wind slowly.
I love it. It's so good. It's wonderful. Michael.
That might be a little fast.
Michael,
What?
you're wonderful.
Oh, what's got you so soppy?
Tired.
Your defenses are down. You're tired and you're like, oh, the affection, it leaks. It leaks from me.
Does. You deserve a big hug.
Oh, do you want a big hug? Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Always.
I don't think hugs are against terms of service. There you go.
Oh. Yeah. That's the good stuff. Oh, yeah. Don't go back to your desk. Just stay here. I can still draw. Oh, my bear. Eee. Love you, dude. Ah! I'm sorry, I hit the pop filter. Buying those pop filters was like the worst thing we've ever done.
a little bit, yeah.
So bad.
They feel professional though. Mine stays in place now.
Does it? How?
Maybe it just needed to freeze a little bit. I don't know.
They
Did
just
your-
keep swinging around and like falling off and
Like-
stuff.
Look,
How did you do it?
I don't know.
Oh, whatever, man.
Maybe like if you don't tighten it properly, it doesn't properly do stuff. Maybe we were too loose with our pop filters, India.
Maybe. We need to run a tighter ship with these pop filters. I don't even know if they work.
Just like plosiving the mic on purpose.
Explosion.
I think they work a little bit. They were like $5. I don't know if we went for
That's
anything.
$5 I could have spent on something else.
Anything of quality. This is why we need face cam.
Yeah.
You would have just had my butt in the camera there, though.
You would have had to assemble him into a full Doig, because his head would have been on my side and his butt would have been on his side.
What kind are they? Are they metal mesh or are they cloth? They are. I think they're cloth. Is metal mesh better?
Yeah, they are cloth with a plastic ring and a metal arm.
Abu says that's exactly what we want.
Oh, a peach with panties.
I like that you've added the hand.
Oh, that reminds me, I can probably customize one of our things now. Let me modify a single emote. That's what I want to do. Oh, which one should I do, Mike? These are so great.
Wait, what's the most frustrating $5? Oh, the pop filters. Sorry, I thought you were talking about like giving India $5 to sing a song and being disappointed. She's not gonna do that. She's not a puppet.
Or am I?
Why are you so like contradictory?
I just think it's more interesting that way.
India's gonna sing until you give her $5 to shut up.
That's not me, by the way, guys. That's Mike. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know either. Get a hug cam like a sports stadium screen, and it just randomly comes on with a big alert, and you have to hug.
And we feel pressured to do it.
Maybe that's what we could spend Doig bucks on. Because we haven't figured out anything that's higher than sing "This Is All I Know" by the band Tone Deaf Leopard.
This is all I know. This life of being an artist and staying indoors. This life is all I know.
This is all she knows.
I did this.
It's currently playing "Save Me From Myself."
There you go. I'm wiping my tear away. It was 900 Doig bucks well spent, my friend. Oh, Doig is after being hugged by trash, but
Can I make things like that? No, is it this? Do
You're
I
not
have to
allowed.
click? I have infinite Doig bucks.
you're not allowed.
What do you mean I'm not
Not
allowed?
allowed.
What do you mean?
Okay, go on then.
I'm
Okay, go
I'm
on.
gonna. What? Hang on.
Ha! We got a crow mail. What is this little? Let's see.
I'm in a basket.
It says, "Crow, you two should hug." Crow. Ah! Thank you, crow friend. You know, the crow's right. The crow's right. Hugs are the best. Hugs are the best. Hugs give me life. When I'm feeling low.
Look!
I'm not feeling it, I give my Doigles a hug and he makes me feel better.
It's a good thing we don't have face cam. Otherwise, people would see the utter insanity you ended that song with.
Yeah, maybe it's a good thing.
She's laughing because she knows it's true.
Yeah.
She just stopped singing, kept her mouth open, and then shook her head like back and forth and widened her eyes. It's like, I love my
It
dog
was a
bear.
scary, predatory, crazy expression. And I'm glad you guys couldn't
Look!
see it.
I put myself in a basket.
Oh, it's a basket of Doigle books.
Yeah.
Can you put shades in your shades?
Can I put shades on my shade?
Yeah.
Can I?
Wait, body swap. How Nage design? How could we do that? We should put body swap as one of the Doig book incentives, and just be like, "Yep, we've done it." There you go.
I can.
There you are. Double shades.
Oh, this is fun. What else can you do?
Excuse me, Steiny. How dare you call my singing Cthulhian horror? Because it's indescribable, unimaginable. Most likely going to hell in a handbasket, Mike.
I like that was just fire in a basket.
Yeah. When you put the shades on the fire one, it's just fire wearing shades.
I stopped paying attention to this. Okay, I need to be able to light this up a little bit more because it.
Light it up!
I need to do this.
I
Yeah.
am thinking that face cam might be cool and fun sometime soon.
You're thinking face cam would be fun.
And cool sometime soon, yeah. I feel like it would be nice to have a nice backing though. And since we work, like we're living in someone else's place essentially. Like Declan, our flatmate, is the one who owns the flat. And so I like to keep his space how he likes it. So I wouldn't want to like rearrange anything to make a nicer streaming background for us. But if we were going to do facecam, I'd really like it to like look professional and have a nice background and everything. So I guess we're kind of stuck.
Unless we get green screens.
Yeah, but like that would be something we'd have to put up behind us and such.
Yeah.
You know, and it would clear up the room. I don't think Declan would appreciate that.
We'll see, we'll see.
But maybe sometime in the future, when Mike and I get our own place, at some point, you can have a little streaming room. Hey, Shaq, thank you very much for the follow.
Yo.
I much appreciate it.
You just have post-it notes on a blank wall as your backing.
That's pretty cool. We could improvise.
The goofy voice clip was by our friend Kevin, who is K7BIN. Sorry, BIN. I think
He's a great animator.
I think he's on Twitch, but I don't think he's twitching recently. But
By the way, the 24-hour animated Game Grumps thing came out.
It
that
did.
Kevin worked on, yeah.
did he end up working on it?
I don't know actually.
I didn't see his name in the credits.
Oh, maybe he didn't then. I know
Holy
that he
shit!
was.
Kevin's hosting us.
Kevin. You're asleep right now, so we can say whatever we want about you, and you can't stop us. Kevin has a handsome face. He also has a handsome dog.
Oh, his dog is amazing.
Between you and me, Kevin won't want you to know this. Kevin's got pretty legs. Don't tell him I told you though. It's just between us. We're talking behind his back on his stream. The audacity. Ha, the audacity. Take my disrespect, Kevin. He's got nice legs. Don't tell him I told you. Didn't hear it from me.
So Patrick was mentioning the animated grump thing earlier, and we found Kevin as one of the on there. Like he did one of the shots, one of my favorite shots on animated grump.
That's why we first met Renee too, right? Because Renee was helping out. She was doing backgrounds.
She was doing backgrounds for a whole bunch, including
Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah.
We were like, wow, this person, Renee, has done backgrounds for so many people and really helped everyone out. She seems real cool.
But yeah, I was gonna write a Twitter thread that sort of went back 3 years, a little tiny history of Doig and Swift.
A tiny history.
Tiny history, yeah. That sort of shows what.
Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to look enchanted so that you felt like I was engaging with you.
Oh, okay.
Stop laughing at me. I'm
Alright.
trying to help you out here, man.
Yeah, Kevin did a piece of his animated shot had no dialogue in it, or it had very little dialogue.
Yeah, Kevin's one of my favorites from the entire collaboration.
And that is just
He
so good.
animated that so well.
What was I saying? Yeah, I was going to do a tiny history about Swift and I and where we came from, what we did, the choices we made, and how it led to things.
How we spawned.
When I first wrote it on my own Twitter, but I'm wondering whether it'd be better on the Doig Swift Twitter, like, because it's a recount of the story from my point of view. I don't know why I'm explaining this. I think in my brain is just like, oh yeah, you thought about that thing. But I wanted it to be like a little bit of a celebration of the last 3 years, because it's an anniversary for us now.
It is. Last week was our stream anniversary. Everyone who was here, who attended, thank you.
Yeah, you want to get us on a podcast?
Lols.
Bryony, you has a podcast? Is that the Wine and Zine podcast?
The Wine and Zine podcast.
Is it Wine and Zine or is it Wine and Zine? I say Zine because it rhymes.
I say Zine because it rhymes, but I don't think it. I think it can be either.
Rolando says, I talked to a real cool voice actress from an agency and she asked me to help her reach towards more animators and game developers. Do you know where I could do that? She sounds so wonderful.
Let me think. Like, a good thing to do would be for her to voice something and then share it around.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Like, has she put up tweets and stuff saying like, hey, I'm a voice actress looking to get involved with more game makers and animators. Here is my reel.
Yeah.
Or something.
Ween and Zine is what Zara in your group calls it.
Ween and Zine.
Yeah, I think we'd like to be on more podcasts.
She has a website. Does she have social media? Because that's really the way that people are getting in contact with one another nowadays.
Yeah, see, the thing about websites is, people, you're either going to like find you through Google, but it's a lot easier to like push people towards a website if you get one of those social medias things. I don't know how it works.
No, I agree. Like, almost all the work I've got in the last couple of years has been through Twitter. I think it's a good platform for people to share work professionally like that, so long as you steer clear of the non-professional stuff on Twitter. Yeah, I think a website is difficult because in this day and age, a website is very much just like a billboard where you go and you look at it and then you can like call. But there's no way for that to like trend or get shared by a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like a dead end in terms of it gaining traction. Bindi Coda. Cool, she has a Twitter. Maybe like then if she's got a voice reel, she could share that around on there. Like revoicing animated characters is a good thing to do maybe. Like I don't exactly know how people normally do voice work, but she could take some clips from animations she likes or games she likes and then redub them.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that your new PC is built today, Palbro.
Oh, Palbro, congratulations! That's so cool, man. Yeah, you got a shiny new computer. I hope it serves you for many years really well and you don't have many problems anymore. That's so cool. Yeah, David met us through Twitter. We met Tibbs through Twitter too. And Habbo. Like, I'm not saying Twitter's the best site, but when you use it in a professional capacity, it can be pretty great. You just have to kind of step around the screaming people.
Yeah, I think Dido Carls makes a good point that if you're applying to a studio, then it's a lot more formal to send them to somewhere where your work it has a a dedicated layout and everything is organized well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I agree. Yeah.
But in terms of people finding you
In the first
organically,
place. Yeah.
like if your Twitter has examples of your work and then your website is linked in your Twitter profile, then it's like a funnel.
Yeah, like
And-
the website is a great place to look at your work if you already know about them.
Yeah. So it's
Like
how
it's a great place to link people to.
like our website we built originally for when we were going to Thought Bubble, so that like Thought Bubble could link to it, etc. But we haven't really kept it updated because we haven't really needed to, which is both good and bad. I recently put our Twitch stream on it because that's where we're most active now. It tends to update with whatever we're doing more recently.
Huh. It's 10 o'clock. I am hungry. And achy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave now. Bye, people.
Bye.
No, I'll give you guys a bit more of a sign off than that. I'm just playing. But yeah, it's 10 o'clock, so it's time for us to wrap up the stream and raid somebody. I mean, I don't know who you got on your side, Mike. I got TB Choi, it's playing a game. Kuya JP is streaming.
Well, let's see.
Oh, thank you, Rolando.
I feel like we could cover this topic better if you folks want us to talk about it tomorrow.
What is the topic?
Twitter, finding how to get seen.
Yes. I mean, our advice on that will probably be quite frustrating because it's generally just finish things and then put them online.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always happy to talk about that kind of stuff. Enigmatic Amelia, you gotta sleep. Oh, Nick Was is being recommended to us.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, we've raided Nick Was before. If he's streaming now, let's do it.
Okay, Nick Was then.
Yeah, we'll send you over to Nick Was. He's an awesome artist.
He's a pixel artist, right?
Yeah,
Or
as
for-
Rolando says, he worked on Shovel Knight.
All right, I'm game.
So you know that you are in good hands. And please say adventure to him. Adventure. Bye-bye, Age Design.
For once, I'm gonna put up our, oh, we don't have an ending screen.
We should.
We should make one. I'll put up the fanfare thing again.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh, we should
Make a little
check
ending
to see
screen.
whether we got any.
we should make a little ending page where we're like, thank you for watching. That's what we should do.
Yeah, I will do that.
Thank you, Kurzak. I think I'm on the road to recovery. I think it was just a 1-day illness, which is good.
Okay.
I'm going to go and get me some food and have a cup of tea and try and wake up a bit more.
No new stuff. Cool. I'm doing it.
Cool. Heck yeah, treat yourself. Maybe I will. I can hear Buffy crying outside the door too. I'll go and give her some food.
Oh, really? Okay. Initiating the raid. Thank you so much for coming along.
Yeah, thank you guys. I had a really fun morning and we'll see you tomorrow for the end of the week.
Habbo did send us a doodle to add to the fairs. You're right, Habbo.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it after the stream. We'll add the bunch more that we got. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And may the rest
Of your day.
be filled
With
adventure. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.